And we say good morning to you. We are broadcasting live on the road. We're here today. We are at Milligan University. See behind us, home of the Buffaloes. Got a lot of coaches to talk to, some student athletes to talk to. Very excited about that. Sorry about yesterday. We had a Facebook crash. We, again, no control over, it just crashed. I'm not sure what happened, but we had issues. And so we were all set up to do the show yesterday, and it just didn't go. We apologize, but not a thing I can do about it. But we're here today, ready to go in the land of the Buffaloes. We love coming here, promoting Milligan University. We have volleyball coming up on Saturday. They won again last night. They've won 10 in a row. They're shooting for their 11th straight tomorrow night for senior night. We'll be here on Saturday against Truett McConnell. The Lady Bears coming to town, and we'll go on air at 11:45. First serve at 1 o'clock. First serve at 11 o'clock. And then we'll come back on Tuesday night to wrap things up in the regular season for the Lady Bulldogs of Tennessee Wesleyan. Basketball right around the corner. Guys on the way to Indiana. The ladies on the way to West Tennessee. Everybody's undefeated right now, men's and women's here at Milligan, so it's a good thing. Our cross-country team is rocking. We'll tell you all about that. Let's get that started. Chris Lane, our head coach, is here. He's going to join us coming up. But first, the national anthem. And we'll get everything set up and ready to go. We're here again at Milligan University. Here she is, Jennifer Nettles, on the national anthem here on the Tom Daly Sports Show. By the way, happy birthday. Nick Saban, birthday boy today. Coach Saban is 73 years old today. So there you go. Here is Jennifer Nettles, and Coach Lane's next on the Tom Daly Sports Show.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
And back on the Tom Daly Sports Show. Hello, Danny Wilson. Hello, Colin Nighter. How you guys doing? We're here live again at Milligan University, the land of the Buffaloes. Well, I found out something really cool. In fact, at one point, the Raiders fan club was all right here. Brendan, Coach, and myself. I didn't realize he was a
Big Raiders fan.
big Raiders fan.
Yeah.
The Raiders. So, before we get into cross country at Milligan, which is what you're very good at coaching, if I put you ahead of the Raiders, what we got to do to change it? Because we just continue to lose and stub our toe, and what we got to do to fix it?
What were we talking about? Cross country? What
Talking Raiders football.
Oh, the Raiders. Yeah, watching them a little closer this year. Offensive line, defensive playing good ball. Quarterbacks just scrambling a lot too soon.
Oh yeah, snap and run.
And so but I think we've lost some dynamic players too.
Mm-hmm.
And so we've got to find some killers on offense, and we got to get that offensive line shored up.
Amen. So who's your favorite Raider?
Man, Jim Plunkett. Just love his story. His parents were deaf mutes, and yeah. I mean, the Raiders, that era, just growing up as a little boy, that definitely drew me in.
the Raiders. So we've got the Bengals in Cincinnati this week. I was going to go watch them, and I said, nah, I'll just drive 5 hours, get mad, come back. 5 hours south to be excited,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
5 hours back, get my heart broke. So, hello, Miss Clowney down in Union, South Carolina. Hello to you. Hello to Dwayne Eastep. Hello to Brian Fleener. Saw you the other night at the basketball scrimmage. Thank you very much for your comments. I was walking out the door. We ran into each other and introduced himself. Thank you, sir. You're very kind. Dwayne Eastep, Danny Wilson. Thank you, kids, for being with us. Milligan Cross Country. It's been a good year. Are we halfway home? We're down the home stretch. Where are we right now?
We are definitely heading down the home stretch. Regular season is over, finished up last Friday. Really pleased with where we are. We had a couple pieces out last week, not a lot, that I think we'll get back here in the championship part of the season. And, you know, the NAI is just at an absolutely different place at the top. We're grateful to be in the conversation of those teams, but we're gonna have our work cut out for us moving forward for sure.
We've been ranked this season, have we not?
Number one on both sides.
Yeah.
For the most part of the regular season, you know, that's great. I think that's a respect thing, but there are other programs in the country that you know are doing a really good job. So this is going to come down to single digits and who's really ready on the day. And you know, we don't have a ball, but it's going to depend on how the ball bounces.
Absolutely. Up in the rafters here at Steve Lacy, 2021 men's and women's cross country national champions. So cross country synonymous here with success. Young man, was it Bryn Woodall? Did he do something very special?
Yeah. Bryn has it's what we pride ourselves on. You know, you take time. Bryn came in as a freshman that year, ran 25:06 for 8K. Really respectable time. Did not score for us at the national championships. Freshman year improves to 24:36. Sophomore year, he's an All-American that year. Sophomore year or junior year improves to 23:49 in cross. He's got a national title under his belt individually now by this point.
Wow.
And then this year, 23:20, which is massive. His own school record takes that down by 29 seconds. But it really puts him, you know, everybody loves to talk about Power 4 programs. Bryn can run on any Power 4 program in the country with where he is right now. So we take a lot of pride in having done that, having done it the right way. He's a buy-in guy. He's a pleasure to coach, and he's a great communicator, and you know that's what it takes to be successful in any sport.
How many years you been here?
26 for me this year.
How many national championships?
So we've got 16 individually and 3 team national championships.
16 individual national championships and 3 teams.
And 3 teams.
What's the chance we can get one this year?
Well, we're in the conversation. It's going to have to line up, right? People just think you go out there and run, and there's so much in the taper, in the way that the training impacts championship races. How you're feeling? Does everybody sick? You know, running's not a sport where you can tape it up as much as you can in other sports and go out there and be serviceable. You've got to rely on 7 kids really on the day being perfect. That's what it'll take to win this year.
So run us down the guys. 7 guys. By the way, where's the championship going to be at?
So we're in Columbia, Missouri.
Columbia, Missouri. Okay.
Gans Creek dedicated cross country course. It's the University of Missouri's course. NCAA Division I championships will be there next year. Fantastic cross country venue. We're excited to be there for sure.
7 guys will be going, and tell us about the 7 ladies.
Yeah, I mean, you know, on the women's side, again, they really just, you know, both programs, and this is one of the things that we really enjoy is the goal is to have 2 programs at the top, right? And sometimes you'll see one gender or the other,
Sure.
and so having both, you know, that's our goal year in and year out to be in the conversation. The women, you know, we had the 3-headed dragon on the men's side last year. We've got the 3-headed dragon on the women's side this year with Ellen Mary Kearney, Alyssa Biazzi, and transfer Kirsten Gary. We got a really good supporting cast and depth on the women's side, and that's why we're doing what we're doing.
So you go when you run now next weekend?
Yeah, next Friday we're back in Knoxville for our conference championship, which will be, you're talking 3 nationally ranked teams on both sides just in our conference meet. So we'll have to be ready to roll then as well, and excited about that though.
So the other 2 teams in the conference are who?
Montreat, Scat Atlanta, both really good programs this year.
So from a recruiting standpoint, you won 15 individual national championships, 3 teams. Does that make it easier to go out? I mean, is the word spreading to people across country go, oh, we know about Milligan, so the word's getting out?
You know, this is a sport where if you're a high school kid, coach, or family with an open mind, you can be competitive at the highest level, even if you're at an NAIA program. That's not necessarily the case in team sports. So we've got that on our side. So then you throw in the success that we've had, and it does make it a little easier.
Open doors.
But college athletics is, I don't care what level you're at, you got to grind, and there's somebody always coming.
Oh, absolutely.
And so, we try to keep that mentality.
Still got the burn after 26 years?
Man, love it. Love it. Yeah.
He's here talking under the table. His legs like, he's wound up. He's ready to go. So so you guys is going through the paces till Saturday for the conference championship?
Next Friday, we'll travel down Thursday night, spend the night in Knoxville. We'll race Friday morning. Right now, really, you look. We're essentially about 3.5 weeks from the national meet. You're really training wise at this point, just trying to stay sharp. You can do too much, I think, at this point. You can back off too much at this point. So you're trying to find that sweet spot so they're feeling good when it's time to line up and go.
Fine line, isn't it?
Fine line.
Yep. So right now, as far as ranking, we are where? The guys, the girls.
Yeah, so men and women are both number 1, as in last week's poll.
Love it.
We may see a shift in that based on we had a couple big regional races. We won ours last weekend in Knoxville, but there are some other teams running really well. And at this point, that doesn't matter. Now it's about getting ready to go at the national championship. So we'll take where we're at and be ready to roll.
It's all about peaking at the right time,
Yes,
right?
it is.
You
Yes,
got
it
it.
is.
The Raiders.
Let's go.
Coach, thanks. I didn't know that. I love it. So he's a kindred spirit. We're frustrated Raider fans.
Oh, boy.
Good night. Ooh. The other day I was telling him I was listening on the radio, and we were playing who was playing the Rams, and he threw interception, got ran back for a touchdown. So I'm working a jigsaw puzzle, and about half of it went across the floor. I said, "Are you kidding me?" So man, it's just you want it so bad, but they're not there yet. But the Milligan cross country team is there, both ranked number 1 in the country right now. That's awesome. Quick break. We'll be right back. The World Series. Take a look at that. College football. We got some games tonight. NFL tonight. Speaking of the NFL, Aaron Rodgers and the New York Jets. I don't know if that's kind of ran its course or not. I think it has. But Rodgers and the Jets at 2-6, hosting the Texans at 6-2 on Thursday night NFL football. We'll talk about that. The obvious story last night: the meltdown of the New York Yankees. The Dodgers down 4-0. Rallied to win it. Freddie Freeman MVP. Dave Roberts masterfully used his bullpen. That and more after this from the Jewelers Bench. We're live at Milligan University. Love promoting the Buffaloes here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
All right. We ready for story time? Yes, Warren?
Mrs. Turner, for your last day, we would like to tell the story.
Okay.
Once upon a time, in this town, a little girl named Meredith Turner was born. And she grew up right here.
She went to this very school and graduated right here. She went away for a short time to learn to be a teacher.
But she came back to teach right here.
She got married and raised a family right here. Our moms and dads had you as their teacher right here.
And we do too. So right here, we'd all like to say,
We love you, Mrs. Turner!
Back on the Tom Douglas Sports Show, want to squeeze in Hannah before we go into World Series mode. How you doing, lady?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. So, hanging up my cords, but other than that, we're doing good. So, wanted to showcase. We come out to Milligan once a month. We want to showcase the kids. Say kids, student athletes. What year are you, ma'am?
I am a senior this
Senior.
year.
From where?
I'm from Anaheim, California.
Anaheim, California. Here's the $100,000 obvious question. How did somebody from Anaheim, California get to little old Milligan University?
Yeah, so I actually started out at community college at Mount San Antonio College, and I did 2 years there, and from there my coach kind of told me to start looking at some schools to transfer to, and I looked at the NAIA, and of course Milligan was ranked like in the top 3. And I decided to reach out and just loved the team and loved the environment, so I decided to come here.
Is it not a pretty campus?
It's so pretty. Yeah.
Oh, like right now? You know, the fall foliage is getting ready to peak probably by, we got some winds coming in here today. I would say by Sunday it's going to be gone. A lot of trees have already lost their color, but if you get a chance, my point is drive through the Milligan campus even now. Any time of the year. Springtime when everything's starting to bloom out. Of course, now, summertime and even winter, there's the snow. Looks like a Norman Rockwell postcard, really, when you look at the Milligan campus. It's gorgeous. 1,200 kids. Our cross-country team, she is, of course, part of that right now. They're ranked number 1 in the country. It's a big deal for me to come out here and brag on it. Is it a big deal for the team? I mean, you guys talk about, in this case, ladies, you ladies talk about being number 1 in the country. Does it matter? It sounds good to us broadcasters, but to the team, is it no big deal? I mean, what do you get from that?
Well, we have a lot of goals, and of course we want to be towards the top and do our best, especially at the national meet. But I think we kind of just take it one meet at a time, and we don't think too much about the rankings, because in the end the rankings don't matter. It's what we do at the national race.
So what's your best time this year? First off, what do you run in cross country? For folks out there who have no clue, I'm trying to educate them, along with myself, about the great sport of cross country. How far do you run in a typical meet?
So last year they bumped NAIA women's from a 5K to a 10 or to a 6K, but we still do both a 5K and a 6K throughout the season. A 5K is 3.1 miles, to give you a reference.
Perfect.
But I actually did a personal best at our last race on Friday, and I ran a 17:49 5K.
You ran 3.1 miles in 17 minutes.
Yeah, just about.
Okay, just about. That's good, just about. Yeah, that's awesome. So that's what we're talking about. And so up here in the rafters, we said earlier, 2021 NAIA Men's Cross Country National Champion. Guys and girls won it the same year. They're ranked number 1 in the country again this year here at Milligan. Again, a school of 1,200 kids. It's awesome. So once you got here, you fell in love with the place. What are you majoring in?
I'm majoring in sport management.
Oh, so when you graduate, you're going to be able to do what?
Well, I could do anything from coaching to like sport marketing, really anything. So I got a lot of options.
A lot of kids find their niche young. At what point did Hannah start running cross country? When did you start doing this and you kind of thought, okay, this is going to be my thing here?
Well, I really started running about track season of my sophomore year of high school.
Mm-hmm.
So a little while ago.
Yeah. So, Coach was here just now, and he was talking about you guys getting ready for the conference championship next weekend in Knoxville. So, today is Thursday, October 31st. It's another day on training. What will a day like today be for Hannah getting ready for the championship next Friday or next Saturday down in Knoxville? So, what will your workout be today? What will you do?
Well, today we kind of have a more easier training run. Tomorrow we'll have a workout. But today we just have like 40-minute run, and he's going to put me on the Boost treadmill, which is like a special training treadmill we'll have that takes a certain percentage of your body weight off, so you're not putting all of that pressure on your body. It helps recover a lot.
What's the toughest, again, for those of us who don't run, certainly not cross country anyway, what's more apt to get hurt? Ankles, knees, shin splints, hamstrings? What, or all the above? I mean, what typically can catch up with a runner?
I mean, it really depends on the person. You kind of see a lot of different things, and some people are more prone to like a hamstring issue or ankle issues, but I'd say it's pretty common to see like rolled ankles or shin splints.
Awesome. So I'm learning things here. Hope you are too. So this is Hannah Brown. So right now on the top, on the 7, where are you ranking inside the Milligan team? You number 1, number 2, number 3?
I'm around 3 or 4.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So you try and push yourself because you want to be the number 1 runner, obviously. Is that correct?
I mean, I want to do the best for our team.
Sure.
I think we all kind of push each other.
Yeah, it's awesome. So your personal record is 17:49
49.
for 3.1 miles.
Yeah.
So you can do the ciphering right there. So you take 17 divided by 3. She's running a mile basically through the woods, not on a track, correct? It's through the woods.
Yeah, through the woods.
Yeah, up and down and around and through mud holes and around stumps, and you're just run through the woods. Average about 5 minutes a mile. So she, as they say, she's picking them up, she's putting them down, she's moving through. So the number 1 lady right now is who?
Ellen Mary.
What would she do?
She ran this weekend, I think, a 17:22, which is about 5:30 pace, roughly.
So you're in the ballpark. It's not like her and then you're way down here. I mean, you're in striking distance here.
I could see her in the distance.
That's. I can see her way down there. I got
Yeah.
you. It'd be like me. Do you see Hannah? Yeah, I see Hannah. She's about 2 miles down the road, but I see her. Yeah, that's good. I'm glad you came by. Have you ever done this before?
No, this has
That's
been
awesome.
fun.
Well, yes. Thank you very much. You can like it and share it, so later today you can send it back to your folks and go, Mom, Dad, or whomever, I was on this show, and they can go back and watch it. So,
Yeah, that would be great.
So when you guys bring that championship back, I want you all to come back when we come back in November, bring that hardware back so you'll have a chance to win a conference championship next weekend. I think Coach said you got the national championship coming up in mid-November.
Yeah.
So it's awesome. Love it. Thanks for coming by.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, Hannah Brown from Anaheim, California. Milligan Buffalo. 5K or 3.1 miles in 17:49. Ain't too shabby. Makes me tired talking about it. We'll take a break. We'll talk World Series next on the Tom Daly Sports Show. It's exciting Elizabethton Cyclone football. It's the Region 1 4A Championship. Hi, this is Tom Taylor, inviting you to join Coach Richard Van Huss and yours truly this Friday from Burley Stadium in Greenville as the Cyclones battle the Greenville Green Devils, where the winner nails down home field advantage in the playoffs that start next week. It's a big game. It's a big deal. Airtime 6:50. Kickoff at 7 o'clock. Audio only. The Cyclones in Greenville. You don't have to say anything more. It all starts at 6:50 this Friday night here on the Tom Daly Sports Show Facebook page and on YouTube. Go Elizabethton Fighting Cyclones.
It's important to hire a professional because you want a quality, trained, and licensed person working in your home. All of my staff are factory trained and have years of experience. With today's technology in heating and air conditioning systems, you want a trained professional working on your system. Our motivation to provide our customers with the best service is years of experience. We've been in business for 35 years and we plan on being in business for another 35 years, so we want to make our customers happy.
Back on the Tom Taylor Sports Show, we are live here again at Milligan University. So happy birthday to Nick Saban, 73 today. Olympic gold medal marathoner Frank Shorter. I should have brought that up to Coach Lane. He'll know who Frank Shorter is. He's a marathoner. He's a runner from back in the day. And I guess he still is. I don't know. He's 77 today. And then former CBS anchorman Dan Rather having a birthday. Dan Rather is 93 today. And those are the birthdays here again on this Thursday, Halloween. Also, Tim Troutman locally having a birthday. Happy birthday to Tim. So there you go. Some are born on Thanksgiving Day. Some are born on Christmas Day. And today it's Dan Rather, Frank Shorter, and Nick Saban born on Halloween. And so, again, Coach Saban, as we said, a West Virginia boy, no less. 73 years old. So there you go. All right. Tomorrow we'll be at Food City in Elizabeth. And tomorrow morning, Food City is going to make a check presentation, the biggest in the history of the company. Food City and Eastman Foundation will make a check presentation to the United Ways of Southwest Virginia, Northeast Tennessee to benefit the area flood relief efforts. We got some folks coming on tomorrow, which is really cool. These folks are from out of town. They're in here from all over Tennessee, donating their time and the materials and the supplies just to help folks with the flood recovery. We'll have them on tomorrow. We'll be at Food City here in Elizabeth, and so looking forward to that. But tomorrow will be the largest on record for the company to present a check from the 12-day fundraising campaign to assist with flood recovery efforts. We had asked folks to give money, and they did. And it's going to be a really, really cool amount of money. We'll tell you about that tomorrow. All right, let's take a look at, as we said, the World Series are ready to go. The meltdown was on. Good night. Did you watch it? You watched it, Brendan? Did you watch the World Series? Did you watch it last night? Meltdown, is that a good way to describe it? We're going to have him on in a minute. I'll get his take on it. To me, it was a total meltdown. And, of course, Aaron Boone was, he was at the podium, had nothing really to say, so I'm heartbroken. Juan Soto's already come out and said, I'm up for grabs. I'm not necessarily going to come out and be a Yankee. Jack Flaherty says, I don't think I'm not necessarily going to stay a Dodger. So the free agent market starts on Monday. And so the first day after World Series, you can start talking. And so these teams are immediately trying to nail down these guys and say, okay, are you going to stay with us? You're going to go? Because it opens up on Monday. But you can nail down a contract agreement and kind of re-sign somebody for all intents and purposes between now and Monday. Come Monday, it's the wild, wild west. And so you got Pete Alonso, you got Juan Soto, you've got Corbin Burns. Who else? Teoscar Hernandez. These guys are free agents. Max Fried from the Braves, for all intents and purposes, probably not coming back. So anyway, so that's what happened last night. It was a 4-0, and they ended up losing again to the Yankees. I'm sorry, to the Dodgers. The Yankees did. So anyway, let's start with Aaron Boone's thought process. Says, I am heartbroken. Doesn't take away my pride of what the room means to me and what these guys did, but I'm heartbroken. So now the question is, do the Yankees keep him? Think he goes? Think he stays? Think he stays? I like this guy. He came yesterday. We had Facebook issues yesterday or something. I don't know what it was, but my man Brendan helped me out, and of course Kerry ultimately fixed it. So thank you. The Dodgers 11 division titles, 12 consecutive postseason appearances, and 5 seasons with 100 plus. So let's go back and take a look at how things went. First off, I'll give you the numbers on Freddie Freeman. Incredible numbers. He drove in 12 runs to tie the World Series record set by the Yankees' Bobby Richardson back in 1960. He swatted home runs in each of the Fall Classic's first 4 games. We talked about that the other day. He was the only player to homer in 4 straight games in a single World Series, he and George Springer. His final World Series batting average was .300. Of course, you know the story. He's got a son that has an autoimmune disorder, and so he's missed some time because of his youngster, Max. So he's had a tough year. Of course, he's injury prone, or not prone, but he had several key injuries, but Freddie Freeman bounced back. Listen to the list of guys that have won both an MVP and a World Series MVP in their careers. Johnny Bench, Roberto Clemente, Raleigh Fingers, Bob Gibson, Reggie Jackson, Sandy Koufax, Brooks Robinson, Frank Robinson, Pete Rose, Mike Schmidt, Willie Stargell, Freddie Freeman. That's pretty good company. That may be Cooperstown before it's all said and done. Pretty good company. So I mentioned the free agency. It will start, as we said, on Monday. Corbin Burns, Juan Soto. Who else is going to be out there? Max Fried, Willie Adams, Alex Bregman from the Astros, Blake Snell from the Giants. What I'm reading is the Braves are all over him. The Polar Bear, Pete Alonso of the Mets, Teoscar Hernandez, Anthony Santander from the Orioles, and Jack Flaherty from the Dodgers are the 10 biggest free agents out there right now for Major League Baseball. But no question Juan Soto is the man. And the Dodgers have already said, we're coming after you. I don't know where you'd put him. But if you're Juan Soto, you'll find a place for him. The guy can play. He's unbelievably good. So, Aaron Judge, his legacy probably took a hit. I mean, this guy, they were counting on him. He got a home run last night, but they were counting on him, and he didn't live up to it. I mean, he had a great MVP year in the regular season, but when the chips were down and they needed him in the World Series and postseason period, didn't come through. Giancarlo Stanton did. Had another home run last night, but wasn't enough. And I thought it was really cool how Dave Roberts used. Of course, Flaherty struggled right out of the gate. They went through 8 relievers and finished things up with Walker Buehler, who was going to start Game 7 and got to that point. So, and there's another story. He had 2 Tommy John surgeries, Walker Buehler. Most don't come back after 1, let alone 2. And look what he did in postseason. Walker Buehler had an outstanding postseason for the Los Angeles Dodgers. So, anyway, it was a meltdown of sorts last night. You had Garrett Cole not covering the bag at first on a basic ground ball routine play that they probably went over that 1,000 times from spring training on. I mean, that's basic baseball. So I just, brain burp, just went dead, just didn't do it. Then you had Aaron Judge drop the ball in center field. It's his first error of the year, which couldn't have come at a worse time. And then the shortstop, one hopped it over to the third baseman, that sliding Dodger, and didn't get him out when he should have got him out. So they made a lot of boo-boos in that 5th inning, and Garrett Cole said it's the worst inning ever in his mind, ever. So one more to drive home the point about Walker Buehler. The second player in World Series history to win both a game as a starter and a save and a clincher. Only other guy that's ever done that is Madison Bumgarner for the Giants back in 2014. So Walker Buehler, who's had all kinds of trouble and all kinds of injuries, he missed most of 2022 and 23 because of his second Tommy John surgery and a flexor tendon operation. So he's been on the shelf a lot for the Dodgers. He threw 13 consecutive shutout innings to end the month. Wow. Incredible comeback story by Walker Buehler. Anyway, Dodgers are the toast of Major League Baseball, and they're the world champions, and the Yankees have to pick up the pieces and walk around going, what went wrong? What happened? Because it did not obviously go like it should have gone for the New York Yankees. They went out with a whimper. They jumped out 4-0 last night and got beat down the stretch with some shoddy defense and some clutch hits, obviously, by the Los Angeles Dodgers. Quick break. We'll be right back. Got more for you. We're live here at Milligan University. Show number 2,175. You already heard the first set of numbers. 3 cross-country national championships as a team, but 15 individual national champions cross-country. Chris Lane in his 26th season as a coach here at Milligan. We have more coming up after this from Brumman Sports Shop. You're watching the Tom Taylor Sports Show live at Milligan University. Brumman Sports Shop in downtown Elizabeth with your favorite school's T-shirts, polos, or hoodies. They can put your school, church, or company's logo on lots of different styles of hats, including Nike and Richardson and now Travis Matthew. Windbreakers, sublimated shirts, pullovers, koozies. They can order for any area school and your favorite team. Dry Fit sleeveless hoodies, Nike Dry Fit t-shirts, women's and toddler sizes. You can order any uniform for any sport, including the pants or shorts from Brummett Sports Shop. And they always have a clearance rack to save you money. Plaques, trophies, medals, and ribbons, and all the engraving is done in-house. And they offer hard-to-find Letterman jackets of your favorite school for guys, ladies, and now elementary and middle school athletes too. And they offer all the different sports patches as well. Brummett Sports Shop, downtown Elizabeth, and Facebook, Instagram, website, BrummettSportsShop.com, phone 542-2321, Brummett Sports Shop in downtown Elizabethton. We're talking to our sponsor again, Daryl Cannon from Cannon's Fine Home Furnishings, proud sponsor of the Cyclones and Tom Lewis Sports Show. So for folks who've never been here, tell us all about Cannon's. What's it all about?
Oh, goodness. Family-owned business. We are always a Cannon's in-house usually. I mean, we're here for our customers. We want to support our community. We love our little town. Elizabethton is such a sweet place to live in. And we got 4 grandkids. They're all involved in sports, softball, baseball, volleyball, soccer. So we enjoy that aspect of our community. And enjoy our customers. We love to see people come in and love to talk to them and just have a good time.
42 years. So how do we find you on social media?
We have a Facebook page that is tremendously visited. We have probably around 15,000 followers each month, and that's a good way. CannonsHomeStore.com is our website. Full picture catalog of, I think there's 1.2 million things on our website.
Wow.
Now, we don't have all that in the store, but it just shows how much we can get. Have a lot of things of it in the store, but we don't, of course, don't have room for a million products.
Hours are open?
Open 10 to 6, Monday through Friday, 9 to 5 on Saturday. This coming next Friday would be open until 8 that night. It's the downtown Thirst Friday event. Looking forward to that.
And the phone number?
423-543-6937.
One of our great sponsors again right here at the Tom Lewis Sports Show and Cyclone Sports. The great folks right here at Cannon's Fine Home Furnishings in downtown Elizabethton. It's exciting Elizabethton Cyclone football. It's the Region 1 4A Championship. Hi, this is Tom Taylor, inviting you to join Coach Richard Van Huss and yours truly this Friday from Burley Stadium in Greenville as the Cyclones battle the Greenville Green Devils, where the winner nails down home field advantage in the playoffs that start next week. It's a big game. It's a big deal. Airtime 6:50. Kickoff at 7 o'clock. Audio only. The Cyclones in Greenville. You don't have to say anything more. It all starts at 6:50 this Friday night here on the Tom Douglas Sports Show Facebook page and on YouTube. Go Elizabethton Fighting Cyclones. Back on the Tom Douglas Sports Show, that's what you'll see tomorrow night. Audio only, again, at Greenville. So people ask me why. I said, I don't know why. So all I can tell you is when you're in Rome, you do as the Romans do. When you're at Milligan, if he said, come in, stand on your head, I'd come in and stand on my head. That's how we do it. So audio only tomorrow night. We'll paint the picture for you. And we'll go in there at 6:50. Kickoff at 7:30. The Region 4A Championship for the 8th consecutive year. We're playing for all the marbles. Now, if you win tomorrow night, you're going to be at home. It's a single elimination, but you'll be at home for sure next week, opening round, and you'll be home for sure the second round if you win. Then you have to go, and you come back. It kind of gets discombobulated. If you lose tomorrow night, you get that first round at home because you're the second-place team. Top two will be at home first week. But after that, you got to travel. More than likely, that second week, being very assumptive, but based on past performance, you'd be going to Anderson County to battle the Mavericks, but that remains to be seen. Tonight, Knox, Carter, and Seymour are playing. That winner will come to Elizabethton next Friday night. The loser will go to Greenville, so we know that for sure. So Cyclones will have either Carter or Seymour next Friday night at the stadium for the opening round of the TSSAA playoffs. So We are joined, as you see, with the assistant athletic director, and we're part of the Raiders fan club. There was 3 of us there once. There's probably not a handful of Raiders fans in the Tri-Cities. It's us 3, and I don't know if Chris was, Coach Lane.
Yep.
Kenny Hawkins is on JHL. But anyway, it is what it is. That's Sunday in Cincinnati. Did you feel good at all about our?
Well, I think we played better, especially defensively. We played well. I also am not, sold that the Chiefs are just a super competent offense. They just find ways to win because their defense is as good as it is.
I agree.
And the Raiders right now they easily could have and probably should have won that game because they gave away multiple red zone possessions, one of which was, on the goal line, first down, and didn't end up with a touchdown. So
that's it.
That'll lose you a lot of games.
That's it. Drive the fan base nuts, which would be me and him. I was going to go to Cincinnati this weekend watching them playing the Bengals in Cincinnati. I thought, nah. 5 hours out, 5 hours back. We lose, going to be a long trip back. And I thought, nah, the heck with it. I'll stay home listening on the radio. And the guy does a good job, by the way. The Jacob, not sold on Lincoln Kennedy's too negative, the color guy.
Horowitz, right?
Horowitz, yeah. Was it Jacob?
I think it's Jason Horowitz.
Jason Horowitz, yeah. Does a really good job doing the Raiders play-by-play. And so Lincoln Kennedy, former All-Pro offensive lineman for the Raiders, he's all right, but it's like, look, okay, dude, find something good to talk about. I know we stink. I'm listening to them every week. I know that. But the cup is half full, not half empty. Find something positive to talk about. The Raiders quarterback, it's a snap and run. The offensive line is soft, to say the least. And, they're doing what they can do. But, you got to find, even on the darkest day, you got to find some kind of glimmer of hope. But he doesn't. He runs them down pretty consistently, which I find interesting. The Raiders let him be on there to continually run him down. And I was wrong. Well, I wasn't wrong. But at one point, it was 4-0 last night. It actually went to 5-0. I forgot about that. I was in and out of the room. And so the Yankees actually had a 5-0 lead at one point. So, and then they squandered it, to say the least. We're here at Milligan University, so it's a busy week. Things are going good. Our volleyball team, our basketball teams are undefeated. Our volleyball team's won 10 in a row. I mean, we're cooking. Let's start with volleyball. We'll have them here on Saturday against Truett McConnell, but they got a big match tomorrow night. Talk about that.
They do. It's a massive one. It's senior night for the team, and they're having a game against Reinhardt. And Reinhardt coming into tomorrow night in second in the conference in the standings, and a team that is right on the cusp of the national rankings. So that's going to be probably the toughest match that Milligan has had since they played against CIU earlier this year, a team that was ranked at that time. Those are the two teams, CIU and Reinhardt, that are ahead of Milligan in the standings at this point.
So you got your cross-country teams, both ranked 1 and 2 in the country. Your volleyball has won 10 straight. Your basketball teams are undefeated. The women opened up with a 40-point pasting of Alice Lloyd the other night. Jenkins had a career night of 37 points. The guys go to Florida and go 2-0. They're on their way to Indiana. Is that correct?
They are. They're on their way to Indiana. They'll be playing Cleary of Michigan. That'll be tomorrow, and then Huntington in Indiana. That's a really good program. That'll be a tough matchup on Saturday.
And then the ladies are on a van today heading to...
They are. They're going out to McKenzie, Tennessee, just west of Nashville near Jackson. And they'll be playing Bethel University of Tennessee on Friday, tomorrow, and then Campbellsville of Kentucky on Saturday. That's another really good program. Both of those two programs, Bethel and Campbellsville, are perennial top 25s.
We've got several doubleheaders coming up in November, guys and girls here. We'll start when volleyball finishes up, hopefully all the way to the national tournament's a goal. Their tournament's coming up in 2 weeks at Meadowview and Kingsport. We're going to be streaming some of those. And then we'll shift into basketball, and we'll bring you the guys. And there's some nights it's a single game, and most of the time it's a doubleheader, ladies first and the guys. So we have a lot of basketball ahead of us here, and we're looking forward to that. And it really gets cranked up, and it runs, now all the way through, March, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a grind.
Through March.
It is a grind. They play a lot of basketball games. We're going to be streaming a lot of those for you. So what else going on? What's story on soccer right now?
soccer is heading into their conference tournaments. Both the women and the men are hosting the first round quarterfinal matches. The women are the number 4 seed. They'll host number 5 seed Johnson on Saturday at 3 p.m. The men are the number 2 seed in their tournament, and they will host number 7 seed St. Andrews here at Anglin Field on Friday, tomorrow at 4 p.m. So
I'll say this every time I come out here, and every time I do a Milligan broadcast, you got 1,200 kids out here. I mean, you're doing the kind of numbers we're doing, athletically speaking, with a school of 1,200 kids. It ain't like it's 10, 15,000 or whatever. It's 1,200 kids. And so, number one, they look for a special kid out here. Not just any kid's going to come to Milligan. I mean, they look for that special Milligan student, which I applaud. And then on top of that, they're very athletically inclined, or you wouldn't have the success. You come to Steve Lacey Fieldhouse out of these games, there's a 2023 men's national champion. Cross country over here is 2021 women and guys national champions of the same year. And then all these other team banners all across this Fieldhouse. I mean, it's very impressive. It blows me away to have a school no bigger than Milligan at 1,200. And I don't know what the max has ever been. It's not been probably more than 1,500, 1,600 probably.
That's probably about the max.
And so, and I don't know how long ago that's been, but right now they're right around 1,200 kids. And that's not, I mean, that's just the way it is right now as far as the number of kids. And I think you look at, I mean, you took this job knowing this, Milligan's got a great reputation around the country, don't they?
Yes, they do. I've known of their reputation for years. Coming out of my intern position that I had at another NAI school on the West Coast called Corbin University in Oregon, at that time I was very aware of Milligan and how strong that they have been across the board in athletics, and at that time was trying to apply for the job then, and now that the opening happened this summer, and I decided to apply, and luckily was chosen to take the position. So
we're glad you're here.
Yeah.
He's easy to work with. He's a pro, I know that. And so, and of course, yesterday when I ran into the Facebook thing, he stayed after the show that never got on the air, probably 25, 30 minutes trying to figure out changing stream keys, and that's way over top of my head. So I'm here to talk and chit chat, but the technical backside of this, it was him yesterday, and most of the time it's Kerry Taylor. But anyway, I appreciate him trying to get us back on today. We obviously very much are. So we're here at Milligan University. What you're hearing back here, we're right off these guys and ladies in there working out, lifting weights. So you'll hear every now and then a banging and a thumping. Those are the weight rooms, or the athletes in the weight room right here on their spare time lifting weights. Have a young man getting ready to come up. Who's this young man?
It's Tim Stallings. He's our assistant swim coach, and he has a storied collegiate career as a swimmer, and we're lucky to have him here.
There you go. He joins us next. Then we'll take a look at some NBA. Again, Thursday night football. Before you go, I want to get your take. The Jets 2-6 and the Texans 6-2 tonight in the Meadowlands with Aaron Rodgers and the story that's kind of fizzling pretty quick.
Yeah, Jets are reeling. I don't really even know what to say about them at this point. They're just in a black hole, basically.
Yeah.
They're talking about being in the darkness. They got to embrace the darkness. I don't know, man. I think you're too deep at this point.
Oh.
2-6, that's gonna be tough. You have to pretty much you have to win out from here on to have really any shot at the playoffs.
So I got a little offended. A buddy of mine said, "Well, Devontae Adams left the Raiders, went to the Jets." And he said, "The Jets are the Raiders in the East." I thought, well, I didn't like how he said that. So, but it's true. That's why it hurts so bad. Truth hurts. So, anyway, quick break. They do play tonight, Thursday night football. The Jets and the Texans again in New York in the Meadowlands. And so we'll take a break. We'll come back and talk about Milligan swimming right after this. We're live here at Milligan show number 2,175 on the day. We say happy birthday to Nick Saban, 73 years old, born this day on Halloween. 73. Dan Rather's 93 today. Back after this on the Tom Taylor Sports.
This is Pastor Mark Fowler, and we want to invite you to be with us at Pleasant Beach Baptist Church sometime soon. And we're thankful for what God is doing, and we've had visitors almost every week. We have so many people that God is using His Word to accomplish a work in their life. And we want you to come. Now, I think about our society today, and there's a lot of talk about the negative aspects and generations and what's missing and what we're going to do and how do we face this social issue and how do we face that social issue. And that is always the buzz. And if we're not careful, we talk like God doesn't have an answer. 2 Timothy chapter 3 we looked at the other night together in our church, and it reminds us that yes, in the last days there's going to be some difficult things come, dangerous times, but the antidote is always God's Word. And so what we're trying to do is to provide Bible answers for today's tough questions. And we're building Believers by the Book. So we want your family to come. We're thankful to have a Sunday school hour and a junior church and master clubs and a youth group and all those things going on. But what we're trying to accomplish is to get the Word of God into the hearts and minds of God's people.
Tom Dillard Sports Show and Elizabeth and Cyclone Sports. T&S Home Improvements you see on the screen. What's it all about, sir?
Well, we build decks. We do underpinning for mobile homes, vinyl underpinning, CertainTeed underpinning, K-Rock, whatever you want. Build decks, porches, whatever you want done.
How long you guys been in business?
A little over 4 years.
4 years.
Yep.
Geographically, where do you go? Where have you gone?
We try to stay within about 75 miles of the region. We've been all the way over to Virginia, up in North Carolina. Next week, we've actually got to go down to Pigeon Forge.
Awesome. So they're everywhere. T&S Home Improvements. So things you guys have been working on, I don't know, last 45, 50 days. What have y'all been doing?
Well, last week we built 2 covered porches, 10 by 20 covered porches. We've done about 600 pinning jobs in the past 2 weeks, and about 10 small decks in the past 2 or 3 weeks.
Awesome. So if you need that kind of work done, all they want to do is ask you to let them give you a quote and go from there. Phone number, how do we find you?
Phone number is 423-946-8432.
You're on social media?
On Facebook. T&S Home Improvements on Facebook.
There you go. T&S Home Improvements on Facebook. And they'll go, as you heard with the sound of our voice, probably 50, 60, 75 miles any radius of where we're sitting here in the Tri-Cities. And so there's a lot of them out there, home improvement companies. What do you feel like separates you from everybody else?
Well, for one, I feel like we're good on pricing. And everything we do for you, we do it like we're doing it for ourselves. So our greatest concern is customer satisfaction.
There you go, folks. One more time, the phone number is
423-946-8432.
One of our great sponsors of the Tom Dillard Sports Show and Elizabeth and Cyclone Sports. I believe in these guys. Travis Constable at T&S Home Improvements, proud sponsor of Cyclone Sports and the Tom Dillard Sports Show. Back on the Tom Dillard Sports Show, we're joined by the assistant swim coach from Milligan University, Tim Stallings. So I just found out from the hills of almost heaven, West Virginia. Love it. You're raised outside of Huntington, out in the country. So, and you from Findlay, Ohio, is that correct?
So I went to school in Findlay, Ohio.
Yep. So neat stuff. So how'd you get from Findlay to Milligan University?
Oh, I think it's just part of God's plan. I mean, I graduated, finished my swimming career collegiately in March, and I knew that I wanted to coach swimming, and so I was just job searching, and I stumbled upon the offer here, and I got in touch with Coach Spencer, and it just all fell into place. It was just like God was calling me to be here, and after talking with him and communicating with the swim team, it was like I'm meant to be here, and it fell into place really easily, and my first day was on July 1st, so I'm still hitting the ground running, but I feel like I'm getting my feet wet. Figuratively, of course, hopefully not literally.
Yep, figuratively speaking, absolutely. We'll get into the swim team in a second. Let's talk about you, because Brendan kind of set you up and said a great storied career, so he's still shaking his head off camera, so brag on yourself. Here you go. Tell me about it.
Okay, so growing up, I was a YMCA national qualifier, which YMCA, they have swim teams that are through YMCA programs, so I was 3rd nationally ranked coming out of high school at YMCA. And then my sophomore year of college, I was the Division II national champion in the 100-yard butterfly in a time that puts me 4th currently. If somebody passes me, that's wonderful for the sport. But currently, I'm 4th all-time in the history of Division II for the 100 butterfly. And so I won in 2021. And then had a couple years, I got 2nd, got 4th by like a 10th or so, by a couple hundredths. And then I won again my 5th year this past March. Again, so I'm ending my career back on top in the event that was my baby. And so 2-time national champion in the 100 fly, also a 2-time Olympic trial qualifier. I qualified in 2021 in the 100 butterfly. And then this time around, I qualified in the 100-meter backstroke. So two Olympic trials, 2 national titles, and now I'm hoping to help my athletes do the same thing.
Not bad. Man, it's all right. You did a little bit. That's
I'm happy
good.
with it.
Yeah, you're all right with it. 2-time national champ.
Yes, sir.
The butterfly. I know nothing about swimming except I think to watch a butterfly swimmer is the coolest thing in the world because it looks to me like it's very demanding on your body.
It hurts. It definitely hurts. It's my favorite. I mean, all swimming's a full body workout, but especially that one in particular, you have to maintain exertion on the water the whole time, and the way the mechanics of the stroke and the way you have to move through the water, I would say it's most painful. Having, that was my stroke. Having to do that in practice all the time was never my favorite. All the butterflyers, me in particular, when our coach would say, this is primary stroke, would kind of just shed a tear and move lanes and kind of, say goodbye to all their teammates. But it's demanding, but I loved it. It was my favorite.
Hello, Linda Birchfield. How you doing? Let's say hello to some folks. Brenda Grindstaff, hello. Jimmy Stout down in Georgia. Kathy Christian. Pete and Crystal Schlegel. They got a son tomorrow night. It'll put on the show as the Cyclone quarterback. Travis said you were down 5-0. They were. I forgot about that. The Dodgers were down 5-0 and rallied to win. Hello, Diane Workman, Nancy Pruitt, Pete Welch, John Wasom, Cody Taylor, Maurice Graves, Sandra Perkins, Amy Whitson, hello, lady. She's got a daughter that plays out here, Riley Whitson, Whitney Odom, Reba Whitehead, and Reba Tidwell, Michelle Reagan, Karen Gentry, Miss Clowney down in Union, South Carolina watching. Thank you very much. And so Steve Shipley's watching in Spring Hill, Tennessee. How you doing, Coach? Thank you for watching. So you're 2-time national champion coming out of college at Findlay, Ohio. You're now the assistant coach here. So let me guess, you're coaching the butterfly.
I'm coaching the sprinters.
Are you really?
I'm coaching the sprinters. I was a sprinter, so I did everything like 100 yards and down. So, I can dabble in a 200 and I can coach the mid-distance swimmers, but in college the 100 and down were my strokes and my distances. So, fortunate enough that I get to coach the swimmers that kind of had the same interest that I did.
So does the team know? I mean, do these kids you're coaching, do they know how good you are in your record? I mean, does it ever come out that, hey, Coach Stallings is 2-time national champ?
I mean, it's not a secret, but at the end of the day, I mean, for me personally, I don't love talking about it. I mean, I'm very proud of my career, but at the end of the day now, particularly at the stage I am in my life, it's more about how I can help them get better. Mm-hmm. So for me and how I feel about it, I'd rather talk about what they can do and what they want to do rather than what I did. So, I mean, if they come up and ask a question, I'm more than happy to tell stories and talk about it and be proud about it. But it's more about, for me, it's like, what can I do for you? Like, how can we achieve your dreams?
Yeah. So when I have folks on there that have played it now, either coaching or retired from the sport or whatever, I said, does it get to him? I was talking to a kid the other day that played football at Elizabethton. He's graduating. I said, Friday night we're playing Greenville. He said, he said, I want to be back out there so bad. So when you're out of the pool now you've moved up to be a coach, you still want to get back in there and go and do it all over again? Or you've passed that, been there, done that?
I think every athlete has moments where they're like, I wish I could do it again. But I think I've thought about this a lot, and I thought about it leading up to kind of the end of my career, knowing that I would be done. And I think the honest answer is no. I would not reopen the chapter. I think I sat down with my coach at the beginning of August of last year, knowing that I had about 18 months left in my career, and we put some goals down on paper. And I'm very fortunate, blessed by God, to have achieved every single one of those goals. And one of those was winning another national title, and the other was qualifying for Olympic trials a second time, and on top of that, just enjoying every day. And I can genuinely say that I did that. And so when I finished swimming at Olympic trials, knowing that that was it, I was not going to put the caps and goggles on and race another time. I'm content. Yeah. I'm genuinely content, and I feel very fortunate because I think a lot of athletes don't have that, and to move on in life and put a bow on it and not feel like I have unfinished business. I'm very fortunate for that. But no, I probably wouldn't.
There you go. Because a lot of them do. You're right. A lot of them can't let go. And so I applaud you. You said, been there, done it, closed chapter, and I want to move on and help other people. So Let's talk about the swim team this year. How is the Milligan swim team?
Oh, they're looking great. I mean, we We always call it Rocktober. I mean, they get here in late August, and we kind of are working into things in September, and then we kind of call it Rocktober, where that's our time to build a base. It's time to kind of get the training underneath our belt and really build the foundation and the platform that we can refine and connect the details to later down the line. And they're looking awesome. I mean, we hit them pretty hard in October, and they responded really well. And we've had a couple meets, a couple inter squad practices where we can kind of have them get up and race and see how they're doing, and they're doing very, very well. I mean, obviously each and every single one of them has their own definition of success and what they're working towards. So, watching every single one of them take steps towards their goal, also individually, but then as a collective working towards the goals that we have at the end of the year, it's really exciting. They're doing really well, and I'm looking forward to seeing what's in store.
So the season, we're on the front end of the season. It's just getting started, right?
Yes, sir. So we start, like I said, first week of September, and we'll go until, some people will go until February, some people will go until first week of March.
Wow. Neat stuff. And so on the web, just go to milliganbuffs.com under the swimming tab, because all the sports are there. And you've got, of course, the men's and women's swimming, and you guys are coming off a really successful year last year. So had some really good success as individuals in this team. So we're going to build on that this year, right?
Yes,
So
sir.
go.
Yes, sir.
So in closing here, let's talk about your faith. How's your faith? Milligan's a very special place. We know that.
Yeah.
And you figured out once you got here that it is really, really a neat place.
Yeah.
And I figured it out too. The first time I came out of here a long time ago, I thought there's something different about this place, and there is to a good thing. So share your faith. How did your faith work into Tim Stallings' life and your athleticism?
Oh, man. I mean, I think that, to me, having faith in God and his plan that he's kind of laid out for my life is everything. I think I've had a lot of rough times, and I'm very vocal about the struggles that I've had in my life, whether it be athletically or just as a person. And I went through a lot of struggles as an athlete, particularly after I won my first title. A lot of athletes go through kind of this post-success depression, and although I'm not going to say that I had it the most terrible thing, I did, I struggled a little bit, and I put a lot of faith in God, that when he was going to show me my next calling and he was going to have a plan for me. And I just kept praying about that every day, and eventually I got to where I loved the sport again, but then that's when the struggle started, and I had a few years where I wasn't super happy with my performances at nationals, and a second place by 400s, a fourth place by a 10th. It just didn't keep lining up, and I kept praying, and then as I talked about, I won a national title my 5th year, and it came down to my last shot. That was my one of my 2 last opportunities to win a national title, and I just remember sitting in the ready room where all the athletes kind of stage, and they, you're within 5 minutes of getting, racing your race. You're about to be called out, your name called, and I just remember praying, God, whatever plan that you have for me in the next 5 minutes, just let me be at peace with the result and be happy that I'm able to live out and give your glory to people through what you're able to have me achieve. And I just remember turning on the last wall of the 100 fly. It's a 100-yard race, so you have four 25s, and I just remember finishing the third 25 and turning home, and I was in third. I was in third with 25 yards to go, and I just remember praying, like, God, please just give me every ounce of energy I have left. And to this day, it's only been a few months since then, but I'll never understand. I'll never fully comprehend the feeling. I turned off the last wall, and I lost every feeling of pain in my body. Every feeling of pain in my body left, and I was just watching myself go through the motions, and I was there, but I wasn't. He deserves that credit.
Amen.
So he was there. That was one of those full circle moments where I don't have to always understand his plan, but that was his hand kind of guiding me to the finish and letting me win one more title before I kind of end that chapter. And he was there the whole way through, and I felt his presence on that day. And that athletically, that's just been the biggest thing, is just knowing that, like, he was in control the whole time, and also with where I chose to kind of, pursue my professional career swimming, or coaching swimming, this has just been the perfect place. I mean, I just remember everything falling into place and just feeling like, God, I know you put me here for a reason. And I'm still learning that reason on the day-to-day basis, and I'm still, appreciating and learning why I'm so blessed and lucky to be here with these amazing, men and women that I'm very fortunate to coach on a daily basis. And I'm just constantly reminded that I'm so blessed. I'm so blessed. people might laugh. I'm a very optimistic person, a very happy person. I mean, I kind of joke around, but in a serious way, because I really do mean it, that I woke up in the morning, so I'm blessed. So why could I be uptight about something if I have another opportunity to have a good day?
Amen. We all are. So, and I guess never more do we know around here than what we saw our friends and neighbors and people up and down these hollows went through these flood and still picking up the pieces. So we are blessed. We are happy. And maybe he lets you win that race. Who knows? You can sit here on a live stream broadcast on October 31st and give him glory and honor.
He deserves it.
Absolutely.
It's all him.
It is all him. And the faster you find that out, trust me. I used to think I was Travis Tritt, 10 foot tall and bulletproof, and I was invincible. He said, let me show you how this works.
Yeah.
And he showed me, put me in a plane crash, changed everything for me.
Yeah.
So, absolutely. So, yes, spot on. We'll have you back on again soon. The Reverend Tim Stallings, swim coach.
Yes, sir.
Great job. Very good.
Thank you for having me.
Proud of you. It's good stuff. He gave credit where credit's due. It's him, folks. If you don't think so, you're fooling yourself. He'll get up and walk across this gym floor, and every step is his. Every heartbeat is his. Promise you. If you don't think so, there's the weight room, by the way, behind us. If you don't think so, you're wrong. Quick break for Carter County Bank. Right back after this. You're watching the Tom Dillon Sports Show live at Milligan University, the land of the Buffaloes.
We're proud to help our region move forward and help reopen every business we can.
We're talking to Mystic Council, one of our great sponsors of Cyclone Sports and the Tom Dillon Sports Show. Why Duck Crossing? Why should we come here and shop?
Well, we have 3 floors of merchandise with over 50 different vendors, a good wide variety of items. 70% I would say is vintage, which is over 25 years or more. We do have, of course, a lot of antiques, which are over 100 years. Clean, organized, right smack dab in the middle of downtown Elizabethton. We have 2 other stores right beside of us, so it's a great afternoon. You know, you can hit all 3 of we're all 3 good quality antique stores.
Hours are open?
We're open from 11 to 5:30 on Monday through Friday and 10 to 6 on Saturdays.
Social media, how do we find you?
We're on Facebook at Duck Crossing Elizabethton and Instagram at Duck Crossing Antiques.
And the phone number to call and find out more.
423-518-1858.
There you go. One of our great sponsors of Cyclone Sports and the Tom Dillon Sports Show. Be loyal, buy local, buy it in Betsy, buy it in downtown Elizabethton at Duck Crossing. One of our great sponsors here of the Tom Dillon Sports Show and Cyclone Sports. Back live again. Thanks, Miranda Shell, for watching the show. Let's take a look at high school football. Big night tonight. Final week of the regular season. We got a bunch of Thursday night games and a bunch of Friday night games. Ours, of course, tomorrow night at 7:30 in Greenville for the regional championship. So tonight, Westridge will be at Morristown East. Jefferson County at William Blount. Northview Academy will be at the Patriot Pasture to take on Sullivan East. Granger at Volunteer tonight. South Green hosting Hampton. Happy Valley plays at West Green. Cumberland Gap will be at Eagleton Academy, and Hancock County at Jellicoe. That's all tonight. We'll let you know tomorrow who wins, who's in the playoffs, the scenarios. Of course, playoffs start next Friday night for all 6 classes. Tomorrow night, Daniel Boone at Tennessee High to Stonecastle. You have Crockett at Sevier County. Morristown West at Cock County. Union County will be at Cherokee tomorrow night. A big one. Region 3A championship, much like our game tomorrow night. Unicoi County will be hosting Johnson County. Johnson County ranked, they're 4-0. Unicoi County 3-1, playing for all the marbles tomorrow night. Chuckie Doak at Gatlinburg Piedmont. Pigeon Forge will be at Claiborne. Cosby at North Green, Unaka hosting Cloudland, and the other big rival game, like Elizabethton and Greenville tomorrow night, will be Dobbins Bennett and Science Hill. Science Hill's won 5 in a row, going back to 2013. Hilltoppers have beaten Dobbins Bennett 10 out of 11 times, including the last 5 years. So they'll play that one again tomorrow night at East Tennessee State, which is a really cool venue to call a ball game and watch a game. They've done a great job. When they built that place, I don't know who designed it, but they designed it perfectly. It's a really nice facility at East Tennessee State, William B. Green Jr. Stadium. And so that'll be tomorrow night. That's all the action. Our game, of course, at 7:30. Airtime at 6:50 tomorrow night. Weather should be pretty good. There was a talk earlier in the week about rain, but that's not the case now. The rain has been taken out of the forecast. It's going to be a great fall night in the hills of East Tennessee tomorrow night. I'm going to double check here while I've got you, and we'll see what the weather. I think it's still calling for no rain, just clear skies. By the way, right now, Halloween, it's 64 degrees outside. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Every day is one less day of winter is the way I look at it. I know some of you want snow and cold weather, but it'll get here soon enough. They're saying now a 50% chance of scattered showers tomorrow and cooler, high in the upper 60s, which is not really cooler, but that's okay. Then tomorrow night in the 50s. So should be a really good night for high school football tomorrow night. So there you go. All right, the verse today, we always dedicate our show to the man who hung on the cross. And so let's bring you that one real quick, then we'll move into some NBA and National Hockey League. Let's see. Here we go. This is a great verse. Jeremiah 33:3 says, "Call to me, and I will answer you." He has spoken in front of more people, maybe he and Billy Graham, than anybody in the history of the world. Charles Spurgeon, history's most widely read preacher, said there's 3 points to consider out of that verse, and he's exactly right. Number one, prayer is commanded. He says, call unto me, pray to me. Number two in that verse, he says, God promised an answer, and I will answer you. Call to me, and I will answer you. And then number three says, faith is encouraged, and I'll show you great and mighty things that you do not know. It's a really cool verse. I thought Charles Spurgeon nailed it. Call to me. Here's your command. Pray to me. I can't answer your prayer if you don't pray. And I will answer you. There's your promise right in the middle of the verse. The third part says, and I will show you great and mighty things that you do not know. There you go. It's a verse today, Jeremiah 33:3. Southwest Virginia football tomorrow. Who plays? Gate City, the Blue Devils, and Y Central. Abington at Union. Lehigh will be at John Battle tonight, or tomorrow night, rather. Riverview, West Virginia will be at Eastside. Hurley at Castlewood. Rye Cove, the War Eagles will be at J.I. Burton tomorrow night. Twin Springs will host Thomas Walker, and Ridgeview has the night off. That's high school football tomorrow night in Southwest Virginia. Hello, Scott Steele. Thank you for watching the show. I believe that's Sierra's dad, our volleyball player. Scott Steele? Yeah. In Greensboro, North Carolina. He's watching. Thank you, sir. We have the red hot 10 in a row they've won Lady Buffalo volleyball team Saturday. They play tomorrow night against Reinhardt, Georgia here on senior night. And, of course, we'll be down doing the Elizabeth and Greenville football game. But Saturday morning, 10:45 airtime, 11 o'clock first serve, right back here against the Truett McConnell Lady Bears. They're out of Georgia, Truett McConnell. Yeah. He's so good. He's so easy to work with. Hello, Teresa Roberts. How you doing, lady? And Scott Steele. And then on Tuesday, we'll be back in here for the final match for us. Is that the final home one, too? Tennessee Wesleyan? Yeah. I think so. It's the final home match of the regular season for the Lady Buff volleyball team Tuesday against Tennessee Wesleyan. So we'll have those for you. NASCAR, we got 6 squeezing in 2. It's the final race of the season on Sunday in Martinsville, the Paperclip, as they call it, right down the road in Martinsville, Virginia. Tyler Reddick, Michael Jordan's driver's in. Joey Logano is in for the championship on Sunday, Martinsville. Your guys are Chase Elliott, Ryan Blaney, Denny Hamlin, Kyle Larson, William Byron, and Christopher Bell. I think the oldest track on the circuit is Martinsville, if I'm not mistaken. It's one of the oldest. and probably one of the slowest. They don't go very fast, unlike the super speedways in Bristol and Michigan and, of course, Talladega and Daytona. But at Martinsville, a short track, a lot of braking, a lot of shifting, so lots of times your brakes and your transmission become problems at Martinsville. Hard to pass once you pass because they're going at a slower pace, lower speed. So it's going to be full of a lot of drama. And you'll take risks. It's the last race of the season for you to get into the playoffs, win a championship for Christopher Bell, William Byron, Kyle Larson, Denny Hamlin, Ryan Blaney, and Chase Elliott. So you know the beating and banging is going to be going on. Plus all the other drivers are out there too trying to win it. Because when you win at Martinsville, you get a grandfather clock. Every driver wins the thing you take home as the trophy, and a nice handsome check from Martinsville is a big old grandfather clock. So everybody wants to win a grandfather clock at Martinsville. So they'll race there on Sunday. Again, for the championship next weekend, 2 guys out of the 4 have already been established. Tyler Reddick and Joey Logano are in, and they'll be ready to go for the championship. And as I said, the other 6 drivers will be squeezing in, trying to get those other 2 spots for the championship next week, as we said, down in Phoenix in Arizona. Quick break. One of our great sponsors, Poor Trav's Deli. When we do our games out here, Poor Trav sponsors, gives away free steam sandwiches. If you've never had a Poor Trav sandwich, took Brendan there a couple of weeks ago. Wasn't a lot of talking. Got him a steam sandwich, and there wasn't a whole lot of dialogue going on. Mr. Sweeney was wearing that sandwich out. What did you get? You got at Poor Trav's, you got a turkey and cheese, ham and cheese, Mad Italian. Can't remember what you got. It was Mad Italian. Wasn't a whole lot of conversation going on. He's wolfing it down. I'm wolfing mine down. Poor Trav's Deli, a great place to get a steam sandwich in Elizabethton. Again, they sponsor the player of the game for Elizabethton, player of the game for T.A. Duggar, and now the player of the game for Milligan University. Folks in Poor Trav's Deli, it's football time in Tennessee, as the late John Ward said. So Friday night, going to the ball game, come by and get your sandwiches. Tell us how you can help us.
Hey, just give us a call, 543-6128, and tell us what you like. White dark bread, we've got ham, turkey, roast beef, corned beef, pastrami, make a good steak sandwich. You want some chicken salad, some pickles and eggs. You know, if you just want a snack, some people just like to snack at the ball game, don't really want to eat a big meal. We can take care of that for you. We got chips and drinks if you want to pack your cooler or whatever. Got anything you need.
Yep, 543-6128 is what you call, or the number you call, and he'll have it ready for you. So if you're heading to the game, how much time should we allow you to get them ready?
Usually about 10 to 15 minutes is a pretty good time.
Yep, 10 or 15 minutes.
About 10 15 minutes, we'll take care of you.
Yep, ready to go. 543-6128. Again, it will be an excellent, excellent opportunity to come by here and get some great food.
Yep, love to serve you.
Love to serve you, absolutely. How do you find us on social media?
We got a Facebook page. You can look us up there, leave us some feedback, give us a like.
Yep. Friday night football, Saturday football, whenever you need sandwiches, here's the place to come. Poor Trav's Deli, 543-6128, one of our great sponsors here on Cyclone Sports and the Tom Taylor Sports Show. And back in the Tom Taylor Sports Show again, live here at Milligan University. Again, if you hear the thumping, we're right in front of the weight room, and so they got some guys that are working out. We understand that. Let's take a look at some college football, NBA, National Hockey League. First off, the NBA from last night. Oh, the Lakers got beat. I hate that. 134-110. Bronny James. Look, I think it's really cool that he can play with these kids. But beyond that, I mean, they're saying J.J. Redick, the Lakers coach, said this guy's the next. He's the answer. He's going to be the cornerstone of the franchise. Bronny James. Are you kidding me? What about Antoine Davis? What about Dalton Connect? Are you kidding me? Give me a break. So he's playing because Daddy wants him to play. It's real plain and simple. I have no qualms with Bronny James at all. I think it's really cool if father and son are playing. That's a really neat concept. But as far as the cornerstone of the franchise. He's going back to the G League, crying out loud. Anyway, Lakers got beat by 24 last night. Ate that. Celtics lose in overtime to Indiana. Other winners: Detroit, Washington, Charlotte, the Knicks, Chicago, Brooklyn. Oklahoma City beat my Spurs by 12. Golden State wins. Portland wins. Tonight in the NBA, you have Milwaukee at Memphis, the Mavericks hosting Houston, San Antonio in Utah to battle the Jazz, and Phoenix will be in L.A. to play the Clippers in the NBA. Bronny James, the cornerstone of the franchise for the future. Yeah, right. National Hockey League last night. Columbus, Winnipeg, Tampa Bay, Utah, L.A., and New Jersey were your winners in the National Hockey League. You have a problem with Bronny James? No. He's probably a nice guy. He's been put in a no-win situation, in my opinion. And the pressure to be LeBron James's kid on the same court as LeBron James, I think is to a point unfair. It's probably cool, certainly, as I said earlier, for a father-son combo. But as far as this X's and O's, I think he's way outmatched. So, and I don't think for 1 second he's the future cornerstone of that franchise. Not for 1 second do I believe that. You say what you want to, Connect's getting it done for him. So he's had some great games, some so-so games, but he's getting more consistent every night out for the L.A. Lakers. Mr. Connect, who played very well for the Tennessee Volunteers. Tonight on the ice, the Predators at home in Nashville hosting the Edmonton Oilers. Others on the ice tonight: Seattle, Toronto, the Blues in Philadelphia, Anaheim and Pittsburgh, Washington hosting Montreal. The Boston Bruins skating in Carolina, and the San Jose Sharks are in the Shark Tank in San Jose against the Chicago Blackhawks in the National Hockey League. College football. Had a little skirmish before the Michigan State game. Actually, it was a fight. I mean, it got interesting real quick. Big Ten says no further action in response to the fight that broke out at the end of the game. Michigan's win over Michigan State. Wolverines quarterback Davis Warren took a knee with only just under 30 seconds to go. As he did, Michigan State's defensive end Anthony Jones and Michigan's tight end Colston Loveland began pushing and shoving. It spread to the rest of the teams. Players flooding out on the field. And so confrontation got a little dicey, as the word is, as they say it. I don't know what that means. And chippy. I don't know what chippy means. Either you're swinging, you're getting after it, or you ain't. Getting chippy, anyway, or dicey. Anyway, they were shoving and pushing, and so nothing's going to be done about it. So I don't know what that message sends everybody else. I don't know to what level you have to have an all-out whatever to punish and penalize people, and that's above my pay grade, but they're not going to do anything about that one. That's all I know. All right, college football, top 25. Tomorrow night, Boise State hosting San Diego State. Hello, Jonathan Morton. How you doing, sir? Hello to Helma Jane Falver. How you doing? Other top 25 football on Saturday. Early games, 12 o'clock, Miami, Florida. 5th-ranked Hurricanes hosting Duke. 21st-ranked Army playing host to Air Force. 24th-ranked Illinois, the Fighting Illini, home to Minnesota. 19th-ranked Ole Miss at Arkansas. Trap game? Don't think so. Game of the week, no question. 4th-ranked Ohio State at number 3, Penn State. Who you taking? Nittany Lions. And the Buckeyes in Penn State. I'm going with the Buckeyes. I think they'll find a way to win that one. Number 2, Georgia hosting Florida. Trap game with the Bulldogs? I don't think so. Billy Nate for your coaching for his life for Florida? Absolutely. 13th ranked Indiana, Michigan State, not a bad matchup. 17th ranked Kansas State at Houston. Michigan will host the number 1 ranked Oregon Ducks. Is that a trap game for Oregon? No, don't think so. They're pretty good. They can play, and Michigan's still trying to find themselves, in my opinion. 11th ranked Iowa State will take on Texas Tech at home. The Cyclones will be at home. 11th ranked Clemson hosting Louisville. Trap game for Clemson? Yes. Could be a tough game for Clemson. I think they'll win. I think they're going to get pushed. Louisville's going to push them a little bit. That's at 7:30. 10th ranked Texas A&M and South Carolina. Trap game for the Aggies? Yes. South Carolina upset? Yes. I think they have the potential to do that. Will they? I don't know, but I just think Texas A&M. We went over the schedule Tuesday, And they've got some big games coming up. And they shouldn't look past South Carolina, but they might be doing it, so we'll see. 7th-ranked Tennessee against Kentucky, and then another good matchup, 18th-ranked Pittsburgh and number 20 SMU. That's a good one, too. So who's your upsets? Hang on a second, I got a frog. Sorry about that. A lot of talking. Let's see. I think Texas A&M could get tripped up by South Carolina. I don't think Tennessee will have any problem with Kentucky. I think you'll see the continuation of Nico having a really good second half of the season. I think the Vols will roll over Kentucky. Ohio State at Penn State. I'm taking the Buckeyes on the road, so that would not be an upset. They're 4th. Penn State's 3rd. Hello, Hal Woods. How you doing, sir? Georgia and Florida. A lot of my buddies have said Georgia's going to look past Florida, looking to Tennessee, and whoever else they got. There's somebody else on the schedule. I can't remember. No, I don't think so. And then Oregon and Michigan. Can Michigan knock them off? No, I don't think so. So I think the only upset in my book potentially could be the Texas A&M, South Carolina, Ole Miss, and Arkansas. I don't think Ole Miss is going to lose. You know, they're not playing where they want them to play right now. They're 19th in the country, but I don't think they're going to lose. So that's what we got there. What we've got here in Milligan is pickleball getting ready to start here in a few minutes. We've got a pickleball class here. And Coach Wallingford is going to join us, the golf coach. Hello, Hal Woods. We've got a big football game tomorrow night. Eighth time they're playing for the regional championship. The Cyclones and the Greenville Green Devils will go on there with the broadcast at 6:50. Richard Van Huss, yours truly, bringing it to you. Audio only in the land of the Green Devils at Burley Stadium. It's going to be a lot of fun. Going to be a great atmosphere. We gave you the forecast, 50% chance of rain tomorrow. Tomorrow night's going to be 20% chance of rain. But I think we learned last week in the band festival, and they had no rain in the forecast, and it poured it down for about 35 minutes, chased the band festival inside, the Elizabethton Classic. So 20% in this day and age, I hope it holds, but I don't get real comfortable when I hear a 20% rain chance, given how things just kind of come out of nowhere. Same with the Morristown West game. You know, I think that day was supposed to be a 20-30% chance of rain, and we know what happened that night. Gosh, it rained so hard. So, but anyway, tomorrow will be, if it rains, you put on a jacket and be ready to go. It's real simple. It'll be rain on both sides of the field. But we'll be ready to go tomorrow night, 6:50 airtime, 7:30 kickoff from Burley Stadium. Hoo boy, an old-fashioned slobber knocker. Greenville can play. The Cyclones, we can play. It's going to be good. They got a great quarterback. We've got a great quarterback. Got a great line. We got a great line. They got a great tackler in Armbruster. We got a great tackler in Kyron Smalls. They got great running back in Quillen. We got great running backs. A healthy dose of 4 of them. Landry Buckles. And, of course, the J-Train. And C.J. Mathis. Brett Slagle. They can bring it. A steady dose. Hello, Tina Whitehead. How you doing? They got great receivers. We got great receivers. Great kicking game. We got a really good kicking. That's really not been able to show the stuff yet. Campbell's been a great kickoff guy, but as far as a field goal kicker, Will Bowers has not really had a chance because they haven't needed him yet to get a big-time, clutch field goal like he did last year against Greenville. Now, last year also against Dobbins-Bennett. So, a kicking game, it's just going to be a great atmosphere. We'll go in there, at, as we said, at 6:50 tomorrow night with a kickoff at 7:30. The Cyclones and the Greenville Green Devils for the Region 4A Championship. Can't wait. Here's somebody tell you all about it here on the Tom Taylor Sports.
It's exciting Elizabethton Cyclone football. It's the Region 1 4A Championship. Hi, this is Tom Taylor, inviting you to join Coach Richard Van Huss and yours truly this Friday from Burley Stadium in Greenville as the Cyclones battle the Greenville Green Devils, where the winner nails down home field advantage in the playoffs that start next week. It's a big game. It's a big deal. Airtime 6:50. Kickoff at 7 o'clock. Audio only. The Cyclones in Greenville. You don't have to say anything more. It all starts at 6:50 this Friday night here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show Facebook page and on YouTube. Go Elizabethton Fighting Cyclones.
Dan's Barbecue.
We care about our product and we do it all ourselves in-house. I make all the rub, all the sauce, and the reason I got in barbecue is I'm pretty much obsessed with it. I went to college for drafting, but when the economy crashed, I got laid off and ended up opening in 2010, and I've been doing it full-time ever since.
Hours are open?
We're open Tuesday through Saturday. We're open on weekdays 11 to 8 and Friday and Saturdays till 9 p.m.
How do we find you on social media?
My Facebook page, Big Dan's East Tennessee Barbecue. I got somebody working on a website, but it's not ready yet.
And then the phone number is?
423-542-2272, and we're in the 3rd block downtown on the left.
There you go. One of our great sponsors of Cyclone Sports and the Tom Loomis Sports Show, Big Dan's Barbecue in downtown Elizabethton. Can't wait. We'll be there tomorrow night, 6:50 airtime, audio only. Here's what you're going to see tomorrow night. We're not allowed to video it, so you're going to see this tomorrow night. The whole ball game. We'll be ready to go. Again, the crashing you hear behind us would be the weight room over the wall and behind us. Got some folks that are working out. And we're joined from the women's soccer team. Tell everybody who you are.
Coach Newberry with women's soccer.
Women's soccer. Ready to go. So got a big one coming up. Let's talk about the season. How's it going so far for us?
So far, so good. It was rough at the very beginning, but we had a hard schedule, and then we went, I think, 9-3-1 in our conference and tied for 3rd, and just on a tiebreaker are the 4th seed in our conference tournament.
Girls are playing well right now for Milligan Soccer.
Yeah, they put in a lot of work, so things I think are clicking and on the rise at the right time.
Who are some of the individuals doing well?
So our goalkeeper, Keela Walcott, just got a Defensive Player of the Week, so she's been fantastic for us. She's had, I don't know, like 4 shutouts in a row, so she's done very well, so thankful for her on that. Our defense has done fantastic as well, and we've gotten critical goals here from different players all throughout.
Tournament is right around the corner, is that correct?
Yeah, we play Saturday, 3 p.m. against Johnson University out of Knoxville, Tennessee.
Excited about it? Have you played them in the regular season?
Yeah, so very excited. We played them mid part of the season. We tied 0-0, so I know they're excited to play us, and we're excited to get a chance to go at them again.
Where do you play them, here?
We'll play them here, so we'll host.
That's awesome. And it'll be when?
3 p.m.
This coming Saturday?
Yep, England Field.
Yep, right over the hill from where we are. So is there, for folks to come watch, is there a cost?
There's no cost, so I would say come. It should be a nice, beautiful day. Plenty of seating kind of all around, both bleachers at one side of the field, but also in the shadier part on the, I think, the east side or south side of the field.
Yep. So once we win that, then what happens?
If we can win that, then we would go and we either would host the next round or we would go to the number 1 seed, which would be Truett McConnell. Depends on how their game goes. So, which they're number 22-ish in the nation. So, first we got to take care of Johnson. They're a very good team. So, and if we can take care of that, then most likely we'll play either the 1 or the 8 seed, but most likely the 1.
That's awesome. So we go in as the number 4 seed. All right. And our overall record is?
Overall record is 9-6-2. So hopefully we can get to that double-digit win column.
Amen. Good job. So this coming Saturday, 3 o'clock, as we said earlier in the show, this campus looks like a Norman Rockwell postcard. It's beautiful. So come out here and watch the soccer match on Saturday, 3 o'clock. It's free. Come out here and cheer on the Lady Buff Soccer. And your opponent will be Johnson out of Knoxville, Tennessee.
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you, sir. Good job.
Thank you.
Yep, appreciate you very much. Quick break. We'll be right back. Got more for you right after this. We're on the road here at Milligan University. We come out here once a month to promote the land of the Buffaloes at Milligan University.
It's important to hire a professional because you want a quality, trained, and licensed person working in your home. All of my staff are factory trained and have years of experience. With today's technology in heating and air conditioning systems, you want a trained professional working on your system. Our motivation to provide our customers with the best service is years of experience. We've been in business for 35 years and we plan on being in business for another 35 years, so we want to make our customers happy.
At Carter County Bank, it's our job to help you focus on the happy moments and check off the things on your to-do list to make them happen. We're here along the way so you can pull off the happiest moments in life. Carter County Bank, in the business of happiness.
Yeah, was highly recruited because of his athletic traits. He's got the ability to throw the football sideline to sideline, vertically down the football field, extremely accurate, loose, quick triggered arm. He's got the ability to extend and make plays with his feet. That's as a runner that's, evading and making a play down the field. The thing that I've loved about Nico is, when he came into the building, he wanted to earn the respect of his teammates. And you do that through your actions, not your words. Everybody understands how hard he works to become the best that he can at his craft. He takes great ownership in his skill set and developing it, understanding of our offense. And as a young player, gets his first start in the bowl game. One of the best compliments you can give to a quarterback is when it goes from the practice field to the game field, it slows down for him. During the course of the bowl game, it slowed down for him. Thought he was in great command out there. Now, there's a lot of things that he learned from that game. He's had great urgency in his preparation all offseason. I'm really excited to see his growth and development as a young quarterback throughout the course of this 24 journey.
Back on the Tom Baylor Sports Show. To wrap it up, we'll talk a little sports. What we normally do on Wednesday didn't get to yesterday because we had that Facebook gig crash or whatever you want to call it. Hello, Heather McCurry. How you doing, lady? Vernon Russell, how are you? Thank you very much. Tina Whitehead, thank you. Hal Woods, thank you, sir. Jonathan Morton, thank you. New name, Helma Jane Falver, thank you. Teresa Roberts, thank you. Does your parents know you do this? I mean, do you ever tell them, hey, Mom, hey, Dad, you ought to check us out?
I haven't told them, no, but I probably should tell them.
Yeah, or your in-laws or somebody.
Yeah.
You tell them, say, hey, you can watch
My
me.
wife knows.
Yeah. Does she ever watch?
Oh, yeah, she's watched before.
Has she critiqued you or she just?
She doesn't critique. She just says, good job.
There you go. Honey.
Very supportive.
Good job, honey. There you go. Yep. She's a nice lady. Met her. She's one of the volleyball coaches. And Maiden's over here playing pickleball.
Yeah.
One of the Maiden girls.
Yep.
In pickleball class. So, all right. So let's run down a couple of things. Number one, I'll get you a take on some of these college football games. Let's start with the NFL. Anthony Richardson gets benched. So he came out of the game. I love this. Sunday's game against the Texans, he came out for one play because he told the coach he was tired. Are you kidding me? You're the NFL quarterback. You're getting paid boatloads of money and you're tired? Welcome to the party, Chief. We're all tired.
I have theories on this, and I think Richardson, he hasn't played a lot of football. I mean, you look back to college and now in the pros, Richardson played less than a full season as a starting quarterback at Florida in college. And then when he got into the pros, he was out for all of last year. I honestly think that he's not conditioned to play. I honestly do. And the thing is, his play style, he needs to be in good condition to play because he will run, from time to time, and that can get you tired.
Yeah.
And if you're a pro quarterback, you don't tap out of a game. I've never seen that before.
Me either.
I've never seen a quarterback healthy tap out of a game and ask for a sub. That's not something that you see ever.
No. And I'm the coach. I'm thinking, are you kidding me? You're coming out because you're tired? Okay. Joe Flacco going in. Anthony, when I go back in, Coach, you ain't. So that's just me. And that's why I'm here and I'm not coaching. But anyway, that's the latest kind of brouhaha. And he's apparently not taking it very gracefully that he got benched. So, but it's is of his own doing. But, in the NFL, one hit, he can be right back out there. So,
oh, yeah. Yep.
and we know that. All right, so tonight, Thursday Night Football, the Jets hosting the Texans. Ho-hummer. Should be.
Should be,
All
yeah.
right. Got some good ones coming up on Sunday. One of the best ones, I think. Denver 5-3 in Baltimore against the Ravens 5-3, who, by the way, yes, I'm going to go ahead and tell you, one of the 3 losses was to the Raiders. So there you go.
Yeah.
Ravens beating Denver or Denver beating the Ravens?
The Ravens have some funky losses. They lose weird games to teams that they shouldn't lose to.
Yes.
The Raiders, one of them. The Browns last week, another. Obviously, the Browns playing with a little bit of chip on their shoulder with Winston at quarterback. But it feels to me like, and they should have probably won the other game they lost, which was against the Chiefs in the season opener. If you remember the Isaiah Likely's catch with his toe on the boundary, that would have tied that game. But Baltimore, I think they're definitely the better, more talented team than Denver all around. Denver's got a good defense, though. They've been playing pretty well on that side of the ball, and if Baltimore can't sort out their offensive struggles they had last week against Cleveland, who I think is a very similar defense to Denver, then I think it could pose some issues for the Ravens.
They seem to be happy with Bo Nix in Denver, too. They like what he's doing for them as a quarterback, and so we'll see. That's one of the big games on Sunday.
And their running game, too. Denver's running game has been really good lately.
Both are 5-3. Then the other big one will be the obvious Detroit 6-1 at Lambeau Field against the Packers 6-2. Who gets that one, you think?
Woo, that's a fun one. It's hard to pick against the Packers in Lambeau, but Detroit is in my opinion they're the Super Bowl favorites. And so when you put up those two teams against each other, Green Bay from time to time has some inconsistencies. Detroit, for me, is about as consistent as they come. But again, being in Lambeau, like I say, it's impossible for me to pick against the Packers in Lambeau, especially against a division opponent. So I go Packers.
The Chiefs, an opportunistic football team, but I'm not wild. Okay, Tom, they're 7-0, but I'm not wild by them. I am wild by the Lions. They can play. But the Chiefs, the Ravens, they won that one because he stepped out of bounds, or at least they forced it overtime. And there was another game, and they're all running together. There was another one where they got a late field goal to win it. They struggled the whole game.
Against the Bengals.
Yeah, they didn't play very well against the Raiders, quite frankly. The Raiders' defense held their own. Offense was pitiful. So I'm not overly wild, but the Chiefs, they're the best in the AFC right now. They're the world champions until further notice. They are proven otherwise. But Kansas City, let's see who they got. The Chiefs will go – they're hosting Tampa Bay on Monday night. So a couple of other ones. The Cowboys 3-4 in Atlanta to battle the Falcons 5-3. Who gets that one?
Oh, man. Like I have said, I've said this a few times, that I think Dallas is moving in a direction that is not conducive to success. They're very reliant on two players on offense, and you can't do that in the NFL. You have to have a well-rounded attack. Atlanta's playing well lately, defensively especially. It's going to be tough to score points for Dallas.
You look up and down the NFL, all these teams with sub-500 records. it's really interesting. Dallas 3-4, Cleveland 2-6, Raiders 2-6, Miami 2-5, Bengals 3-5, the Titans 1-6, New England 2-6, Saints 2-6, Carolina 1-7. You've got the Giants 2-6, Arizona's 500 at 4-4, Jacksonville's 2-6, the Rams are sub-500 at 3-4. Is that unusual? Have all these teams that are below 500?
It does feel a little odd, and I think really across the board this year, it feels like there's a lot of mediocre teams, and then there's just a few good elite teams. NFC North probably has a couple of them. Packers and Lions, I think, are two elite. Chiefs, I put in that bucket as well. But kind of outside of those three teams up there at the top, you look below that and you're like, okay, well, this is just it's a soup of teams that are kind of in the same bowl. And then there's the really bad teams, which there's quite a few of them as well.
Amen. How good are the Steelers?
I don't know. It's tough for me to say because I'm not sure that I believe their offense is as good as they've been for these last 2 weeks with Wilson. I just am not sure that the opponents they've faced have been great. And when they face someone who is an actual elite team, if they can still put up the same types of numbers. I do think the Steelers defense helps push them toward that elite level, but I'm still not 100% convinced.
How good are the Eagles at 5-2? They the real deal?
I think it's kind of weird. They're kind of, I'm not saying they're like the Cowboys, but they have a very similar feeling offensively, where they are very, very
one-dimensional.
Yeah, one-dimensional. Yeah. They can only really pass, and I mean they can run a little bit with Barkley, but they like to get him the ball in the air more than they do on handoffs. It feels like, and I think that if they're missing their stars, then they're not as good. And they showed that earlier this year when Brown and Smith were out. They really struggled during that time and lost those 2 games that they lost.
Minnesota 5-2. What's your story on the Vikings? At one point they were undefeated.
Yeah, they were undefeated 5-0, and they were looking pretty good. And I think they still are a good team. I'm not sure they're elite at this point because I think the Brian Flores defense, as effective as it can be, especially early in the season, it's a defense that really, changes up their looks, blitzes from all directions. Over the course of a season, coordinators on other teams will get film, and they'll see all these blitz packages, and they'll find ways to beat them. And so this has been the case for Flores defenses in the past. Week by week, they, over the course of the season, begin to diminish over the course of the year. And so I think the Vikings, as reliant as they've been on their defense being great, it could, make them more of a kind of middle-of-the-pack 500 type team. But over the course of the rest of the season, I think that would put them at 10-7 if they went 500 for the rest of the way. So that could get them into the playoffs.
One more, the Buffalo Bills at 6-2. Are they for real?
Yeah, I think the Bills are still the cream of the crop in the AFC East. I think the trade for Amari Cooper helps a ton.
Oh, yes.
They didn't have a lot of depth at receiver before him coming in. Him coming in helps. Khalil Shakir being back helps. So, yeah, I think they are the cream of the crop in the AFC East. And they're a contender, I think, in the AFC as well. I might even put them into that elite group.
So you're at the halfway point of the NFL season. So if you had to draw them up and say Super Bowl coming up on Sunday, AFC, you would have who in there?
I don't know. Probably the Bills or the Chiefs. Those would be my top 2. It's so hard when I watch the Chiefs. I don't see a team that is. The thing is, I don't think they really care about the regular season a whole lot. They turn it on when it gets to the postseason, and that's been the case. The Bills, on the other hand, I think are a team that has really good regular season offensive success, and then in the past they've just struggled in the postseason. So you put 2 teams on the opposite ends of the spectrum in the 2 different parts of the season, and I think it is going to come down to those 2 teams. But on the NFC side, like I said before, I think the Lions are
the deal.
I think the Lions are the team because I think they're going to end up in the season with the number 1 seed, have that home field advantage, and Detroit is a home field advantage. I mean, that's one of the louder stadiums there are in the NFL.
We're here at Milligan University talking, obviously, to Brandon, the associate athletic director, I should say, and the SID for Milligan University. So we're going to hit him with a couple of more college footballs before we get out of here. Tomorrow, we'll be at Food City in Elizabethton, ready to go. Got some folks coming tomorrow that are in town from the in fact, I got the name of the group right here. They are in from all over Tennessee. They come in to volunteer their time and their supplies and their talents to help folks rebuild on the flood. They're from different places around Tennessee. And Matt Swain, the pastor at Calvary Baptist, sent me their name, and let me see what they are, what they call them here. Let's see, there they are. Here it is, right here. It's the Tennessee Baptist Disaster Relief. Need help cleaning up after the floods in Carter County, Johnston County, Washington County, Unicoi, Greene County. They do it for free. FREE. They'll be there and ready. They've been feeding them this week, hundreds of volunteers, and so they're going to be there. Kelly Munn's going to be with us tomorrow, and Kay is the lead organizer. So if we don't get more jobs, these workers will stop coming. Okay. So they're in town. They want to work, and so We're going to put them to work. We'll find out some places that need help. There's plenty of them out there. And these are the Tennessee Baptist Disaster Relief Team that comes in from all over the state of Tennessee. They're here, and they're working, and they're needing more work. How about that? The need's out there. We just got to get them plugged in to the right place, and that's what we're going to try to do between now and tomorrow. All right, so college football. Got a couple of games. Number 4, Ohio State, and number 3, Penn State. It's the game of the week. Nittany Lions at home or Ohio State on the road?
I think you remember from last week that I said the Nittany Lions are your
for real
college football playoff national champs. This is going to be the first time you see them against a really big opponent get a big victory.
What's their strength? Is it offense or defense? What makes Penn State so
They're
good?
a great, well-rounded team. I love their running game on offense. And then defensively, I mean, all season long they've been extremely stingy against really good opponents. I mean, they held Illinois earlier this season to 1 touchdown, 7 points. They've just played really good all year. They're undefeated. I think they are the cream of the crop in the Big Ten. You could argue Oregon, but I think when Oregon plays Penn State, it's going to be a rude awakening for the Ducks.
Georgia, Florida, trap game for the Bulldogs or not?
It could be, but again, I think Georgia beginning to find their legs a little bit. So I think Georgia's going to pull it out pretty easily.
Indiana, 13th ranked at Michigan State.
I really like Indiana. I really do. That's a team that I think when I've watched them this year, I look at Indiana and I say, hey, this is a team that next year, I mean, if they get some pieces, this could be a contender in the Big Ten to possibly win the conference championship and go on to the CFP and maybe make some noise. I'm not sure if they have that in them this season, but they're a good team, undefeated, and within the Big Ten, that's tough to do.
Kurt Signetti's doing a great job coaching the Hoosiers. His daddy was a great coach, Frank Signetti, coach of West Virginia. Top-ranked Oregon will be in Michigan. Trap game, or does the Ducks wear them out?
Yeah, I think they'll wear them out. Michigan not playing up to their potential this year at all.
They're struggling. 11th ranked Clemson home to Louisville. Is that a trap game for the Tigers?
It could be, but I don't know. I think Louisville on the road at Clemson, that's a tough ask, and I think Clemson probably takes care of business.
Texas A&M, 10th ranked Aggies, a surprise to the SEC, obviously. They're on top of the leaderboard in Columbia to battle South Carolina. Can the Gamecocks do it? Can they break their hearts?
I want to see what Texas A&M can do here on the road because they just came off a huge win at home against LSU. And typically when you have a big win at home like that, there's a possibility there could be a little bit of a letdown the following week. So for Texas A&M's sake, I hope they don't have that letdown at South Carolina.
And then you got Tennessee and Kentucky on Saturday at Neyland Stadium.
Tennessee should be favored to win, but again, that's a rivalry. I mean, that's a big one. And when a rivalry comes into being, and that's the stage that's set, you never really know who's going to win a game like that.
Last one, I guess. Although I don't think it's going to be a game as far as an upset. 19th ranked Ole Miss will be at Arkansas. Arkansas, got Tennessee, but Lane Kiffin, they're not happy him 19th down in Rebel Land, I can tell you that. So I think it's a big ball game for them. Does Arkansas sneak in there and knock them off or not? They're at home.
I think Ole Miss is definitely the better team. Arkansas has some pieces to their team that are interesting. I like Green at quarterback. I think he's a pretty good player. Just hasn't been as consistent as he's needed to be this year. So if he has a really good game, it's possible they could pull something off. But I think Ole Miss is definitely the better team.
I want to run down to here's the playoffs. We're going to talk about this before we get out of here. Hello, Lacey Maxwell. How you doing? Then I got all these other. I wanted to go through these real quick too. These are the remaining schedule of these teams. Some of the teams in college football. Let's put this over here for the time being. We're here live at Milligan talking to Brendan. Just a couple of buds just talking a little sports. He does a very good job. Tennessee, their remaining games, see what you think. Of course, they got Kentucky. They've got Mississippi State at home, at Georgia, UTEP at home, and at Vanderbilt. Tough schedule, okay schedule.
It's not a bad schedule. I think it's pretty good. The only thing on there, I mean, that Georgia game, that's a big one. But the rest of those games should be winnable for the Vols.
Ohio State with Penn State this weekend, then they come back home for Purdue. They go to Northwestern. They come back home for Indiana, and they come back home for Michigan. It's a pretty tough finish.
It is a tough finish. Indiana and Michigan especially. I mean, that's I cannot wait for that Indiana game. I want to see how that ends up going, because if Indiana has continued to play well and is still undefeated at that point and jumps Ohio State, they're going to be in the college football playoff probably.
There you go. Penn State, what they got left? After the Buckeyes, they got Washington at home, at Purdue, at Minnesota, and Maryland at home, which seems pretty soft to me.
Soft schedule.
Yeah.
Penn State's in good shape.
Yeah, they're in good shape. Hello, Jeff Nelson. How you doing, sir? The Oregon Ducks, after this week in Michigan, they have Maryland at home, at Wisconsin, Washington at home. Nah.
Yeah, nothing there.
Nothing there. The Hokies, who are playing some pretty good football in the middle of the pack ACC. They're at Syracuse this week. Come back home for Clemson, go to Duke, and come back home for Virginia in the Commonwealth Cup.
Clemson game's a tough one. Syracuse was playing well, have fallen off a little bit of late, but that's a tough one against Clemson.
Clemson's final games. Of course, Louisville this weekend. And as we said, they go to Virginia Tech. Probably the game of the year, they go to Pittsburgh on November the 16th. That'll be the biggie.
Yes, it will.
Citadel back home for a checkbook game, and then the rival game against South Carolina in Clemson. Pretty tough schedule down the stretch.
That's pretty tough down the stretch, especially, I mean, that Pitt game's a big one for everybody. It's basically probably going to decide ACC hierarchy.
Indiana at Michigan State this weekend. Back home to Michigan. At Ohio State. Rival game home against Purdue. Pretty tough schedule.
It's tough. That's tough.
Yeah. But you like them.
I do like them, and I think they can win. If they can beat Ohio State, they'll go undefeated this year, I think.
Two more, the Georgia Bulldogs. Florida this weekend. Then they go to Ole Miss, home to Tennessee, UMass at home for a checkbook game, then wrap up with Georgia Tech in the rival game in Athens.
A couple of ranked opponents there that not going to be pushovers at all. Georgia against Ole Miss and Tennessee. And then obviously that Georgia Tech game's always a interesting one.
And the last one is the Texas A&M Aggies. Who they got to finish up with? They're at South Carolina Saturday. Go back home to New Mexico State, then they go to Auburn, then wrap things up at home against Texas.
It's a tough finish against Texas. That's going to be a big deal, because that'll probably decide some stuff in the SEC standings.
Oh, absolutely. No question. So, and I still say, I watched Auburn push Georgia around a little bit a couple of weeks ago. Hugh Freeze has got it going down there. Bobby Petrino is the offensive coordinator. So, going to Auburn, I mean, that could be their game of the year to knock them off. So, going down to Auburn stuff anyway. So, that I think Auburn's a team to be looking forward in the future. He's getting a lot of recruits. Did very well in the transfer portal. So, just keep an eye on Auburn the rest of this season and certainly going into 2025. So, here we go. College football playoff to wrap this thing up. Here's the teams with no losses right now. Miami, Pitt, Oregon, Indiana, BYU, Iowa State. Those are the guys with no losses. One losses right now would be Penn State, SMU, Clemson, Ohio State, Kansas State, Texas A&M, Texas, Georgia, Tennessee, Notre Dame. Notre Dame overrated? Yes.
I think so.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and then I'll hear about it, but that's okay. It's my opinion. I think they're overrated. They're 7-1, and they're okay, but they're not. They're in the top 10 now. Notre Dame.
I think so. Yeah. I think they're number 7.
Two lost teams: Syracuse, Duke, Illinois, Arizona State, Colorado, LSU, Alabama, Ole Miss, Missouri. Do you get in with 2 losses? Can you get into the playoffs 2 losses?
You could. I mean, you definitely could with 2 losses. 3, I'm not sure. Yeah. But with 2, I think you could get in. It'll just depend, what conference you're from, what your schedule looks like, strength of schedule. But I think it's definitely possible. There could be at least 2 teams probably with 2 losses that are in that field.
Texas A&M and Texas play each other. Georgia plays Tennessee. Ohio State's playing Penn State this week. Indiana's got Ohio State. So there's a lot of football left, but a lot of these teams are going to get knocked around a little bit. Pitt plays Clemson later on in a couple of weeks.
Yep.
So it'll be interesting to see, can anybody run the table and go undefeated?
I mean, I think Penn State. They have one loss, but Indiana and Oregon are probably the two teams that I look at out of this group that are undefeated right now that I think have the best chance of going undefeated because of their schedules that are left to be played.
There you go. Good stuff. Hello, Linda Swansel. How you doing? So, who's your national champion? Boy, put you on the spot. Thanks, Tom.
Well, I picked Penn State.
Still sticking Penn State?
I still pick Penn State, and I think the way that I look at their team across the board, they are the most well-rounded, in my opinion, across all of college football. It doesn't mean that they're, the best offense or they're the best defense, but I think they're both those units together combined makes them the best team in college football, in my opinion. But, I like to think my opinion matters sometimes.
It does. It does with me. That's why I'm asking. That's why I got you on here. So, good segment. Thanks for having us out here. Back here next month, doing it all over again. Quick break. We'll be right back after this to kind of wrap things up. We're live again at Milligan University, show number 2,175 of the Tom Taylor Sports Community Credit Union, one of our great sponsors. Christmas Club savings account for next year. Tell me about it.
Yes, let's talk about it because now you're going to have 12 months to do this. What better time than right now to open your Christmas Club savings? There's no cost on this. This is just something that we can help you transfer automatic funds, either weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, out of your check. So that way you won't even have to worry about it. And each time that you have that transferred, either you can do it yourself or deposit into this account, or we can have automatic draft set up. That's just convenient for you. And like I said, it's just another sub account to your savings and checking at Northeast Community Credit Union. So if you have any questions, visit bmycu.org or come in and see us at one of our convenient locations or call 423-547-1200.
And you cut checks when? Next year? October, November? So when you get your checks?
Yes.
Save it up all year?
Yeah, so direct deposit could be your monthly paycheck.
Okay.
And so you can allocate a percentage of that paycheck into the Christmas Club. And that way when you get to October, November, it's going to be built up. And so it's a great feature, and people love it.
The Christmas Club savings account for Christmas 2024?
Yes.
From Northeast Community Credit Union, one of our great sponsors of the Tom Taylor Sports Show and Cyclone Sports. It's exciting Elizabethton Cyclone football. It's the Region 1 4A Championship. Hi, this is Tom Taylor, inviting you to join Coach Richard Van Huss and yours truly this Friday from Burley Stadium in Greenville as the Cyclones battle the Greenville Green Devils, where the winner nails down home field advantage in the playoffs that start next week. It's a big game. It's a big deal. Airtime 6:50. Kickoff at 7 o'clock. Audio only. The Cyclones in Greenville. You don't have to say anything more. It all starts at 6:50 this Friday night here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show Facebook page and on YouTube. Go Elizabethton Fighting Cyclones. Back on the Tom Taylor Sports Show again. Hello to Linda Swansel. Hello to Hannah Turbyville. That's a new name. Thank you for watching. You obviously see the backdrop here in the land of the Buffaloes. Love coming out here promoting Milligan. Love it. Love it, love it. Chris Lane was here, the cross-country coach. 26th season. He's coached 3 national champions and 15 individual champions. Over there it says 2023 NAIA Men's Cross Country National Champion on that banner. On those banners on that side of Steve Lacy Fieldhouse. 2021 men's and women's same year national champs. Well, guess what? This year, the Milligan cross-country teams, guys and girls, both ranked number 1 in the country. Wow, that's awesome. Our volleyball team has won 10 in a row. They'll play Reinhardt tomorrow night. Big one here for senior night. We'll be here on Saturday when the Lady Buffs will take on the Lady Bears of Truett McConnell. 10:45 airtime, 11 o'clock first serve on Saturday. Let's see, our soccer team's in the tournament coming up, men's and women's soccer. Tim Stallings was here, one of our coaches of the swim team, 2-time national champion for Findlay, Ohio, in the butterfly, which is pretty impressive. And so, just unassuming, Olympic qualifier twice. Oh, I've done a few things. Yeah, okay. National champion twice in the 100-meter butterfly. And he was a qualifier at Olympic trials, Olympic qualifier twice to try and swim for the Olympic team. Not bad. So, are you kidding me? Some very impressive. We also had on the show Hannah Brown, currently third in the on the team in the cross country. She had a personal best of 17:49. She ran 3 miles, 3.1 miles through the woods in 17 minutes and 49 seconds, which is moving on to say the least. So she was here as a guest. Also, we had Coach Newberry, the assistant women's soccer coach, was here. And let's see, who else do we have? Is that it? Yep, got them all. Of course, Brandon was here. The basketball teams are traveling. The men are on their way to Indiana, and the ladies on their way to outside between Nashville and Jackson and McKenzie, Tennessee. And so the volleyball team is here, and we will bring them to you on Saturday morning. The views and interests of going up, and we love it. That's the whole point of doing this, bringing exposure to A, Milligan, and B, to the great sport of volleyball. Anything you want to know about sports, you just go to milliganbuffs.com. That's the website that he keeps updated all the time, which is a very big task. You got 31 sports here in Milligan, and they're always doing something. And coming here, coming there, doing here, going there. And so, in fact, what's coming out this afternoon? The rankings of the cross-country rankings are coming out. The updates. He's got to do a story on those. So he hops. I'm telling you, he does a great job, and so we appreciate him being with us here on the show. We're going to finish it up and get on out of here and rejoin you tomorrow at Food City in Elizabethton for the Tom Daly Sports Show. We're very much excited going there. It's Food City Friday. Been going to Food Cities every Friday for 21 years. We love it, and so we'll be there tomorrow. Let's give you the verse today before we get out of here. Where are we here? There it is. This is really cool. I don't know if you ever heard of Charles Spurgeon. He has, what was it? Over 6,000 sermons he has preached. He passed away at the age of 58. But anyway, Jeremiah 33:3, I was reading his book, and he's got a follow-up to this verse. The verse is, "Call to me, and I will answer you and show you great and mighty things that you do not know." Jeremiah 33:3. He says, and he's right, it's history's most widely read preacher. 3 points to this. Number one, the prayer is commanded. He says, "Call unto me." I can't answer unless you pray to me. Pretty simple. Call unto me. Number two, God promised an answer. He says, and I will answer you. That's pretty obvious. You call on me and I'm going to answer it. And the third thing is faith is encouraged. Charles Spurgeon says, you got to have faith. He says, I'll show you great and mighty things that you do not know. That's faith, stepping out in faith to learn things and do things and get a response based on faith. Anyway, it's a great verse. Charles Spurgeon, and that's the verse of the day, Jeremiah 33:3. Call on the men, I will answer you and show you great and mighty things that you do not know. That's pretty cool. That's a great comfort, I would think, to all of us. It is to me, to know that he says, I may answer you. God says, no, call on to me, and I will answer you. Doesn't get any more direct than that, is it? And then he says on top of that, once you pray to me, I will answer you, and I'm going to show you things I'm going to blow your socks off you didn't know about. And I'm paraphrasing. I ain't blowing your socks off, not in the Bible, but that's, where I'm going with this. So that's the verse of the day, and I thought it was really cool to do a footnote from the late, great Charles Spurgeon. We're out of time. We sincerely thank you for yours. We'll redo it again tomorrow with show number 2176 on the road at Food City in Elizabeth. And have a great rest of your Thursday. Enjoy the weather. I was telling a lady yesterday, I said, here's how it's going to be around here. It's going to be fall, and the switch is going to flip. It's going to go right to winter. There'll be no, it's going to go boom. So enjoy this, because this is very unseasonable. And don't forget, on Saturday, to set your clocks back, daylight savings time, which I'm totally against, but it is what it is. Set your clocks back, change the batteries and smoke detector, and do a little survey. How many fire extinguishers do you have in your home? There's a one point I had none. And the more I kept telling myself, I thought, well, here I'm telling you all to check. I don't have any either. Now I do. I've got them on each floor. You're supposed to have one beside your dryer. You're Should have one near your stove, because those are usually the two areas that will have the most propensity to have an accident or a fire. Do you have fire extinguishers in your home? There you go. How did I know that? He's got it together. This guy's got everything together. He's so GQ cool. So, but you should have one on each floor, and definitely have one if you have multiple floors in your home, and definitely have one regardless around your dryer and around your stove. And you want ABC on the fire extinguisher, which will handle any kind of fire, wood, paper, whatever. So there you go. So check the batteries in your smoke detector this weekend, and then also go, you know what? I need to get a fire extinguisher. It would be nothing worse than have a fire in your home and go get the fire. What are you going to do? Call the fire department. Well, okay. Well, they don't get there in a timely manner. So you need to have something to help protect yourself in the event something happens, and the fire extinguisher will do it. You can buy them in different sizes at any of the major big box stores. So anyway, there you go. Check your fire extinguishers. If you don't have any, get some. Check your smoke detectors. Change the batteries in them. Again, set your clock back when you go to bed on Saturday evening. We'll see you back here tomorrow. Thanks for watching the show. As we always, Mama used to say, bloom where you're planted. That's how she told us every morning going down to catch the school bus. You boys bloom where you're planted. Okay. When you walk in the room, make sure people are glad to see you. And when you walk in the room, go, oh, no, here he comes. Makes sense. She was right. Bloom where you're planted. And win or lose, be a good sport. Thanks for watching show number 20.